All right, we are live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Krod here. I'm back with another good live stream video for y'all today. I'm gonna be talking about Miss Claressa Shields and Shakur Stevenson. Quick little live here. I just wanted to get it off my chest because I for some odd reason just got some weird ass hate from a lot of mentally retarded trolls from last night's live that I did on Clarissa's second MMA bout in which I thought she won, but according to some mentally retarded MMA weirdos, they want to say, oh well, her racist ass lost. You need to just get over it. Blah blah blah. No, I'm sorry, but MMA is no different from boxing. I truly believe that there is some political corruption in MMA, but that still doesn't exclude from the fact that I still have a voice to criticize the sport of MMA like any other sport. So therefore, I'm going to be criticizing on the mentally retarded idiots that want to talk all that crap and junk about Claressa Shields, and then I'm going to be talking about Shakur Stevenson for a little bit before I get up out of here to go to bed. But I'm going to be talking about, I guess, maybe Shakur Stevenson's progression. Do I think he needs to move up in weight? Me personally, I think he should move up in weight just simply because, like, Shakur Stevenson, he really doesn't have that much left to do at 135. Like, I mean, I understand, like, he's probably going to wait for all the other champions to be either unified or crowned. But it looks like 130 is just not going to be a good route. But, I mean, according to, guys like Kano Local Sports and LW, if y'all want to go check out their channels, they just recently had a live show on Kano's channel. It was on Fully Loaded Boxing Talk. Go check it out. Very good show. I always like calling into that show. If you guys ever have any questions or you guys just want to talk it out with them, they're pretty open people. But I'm like their most dedicated caller because I'm just that big of a how should I say supporter of the channel, and I really do enjoy talking to Kano and LW. Very good people. Um, I had a bit of a disagreement in regards to the Shakur Stevenson situation where I don't think Shakur Stevenson should stay at 130, just simply because, like, number one, who would really want to face Shakur Stevenson if they're willing to do it? For what we had saw from the recent political landscape from all the other title organizations, Oscar Valdez obviously is going to be, mandated, or he's going to be, told by, or like basically he's going to probably be ordered by the WBC to go fight Navarrete, and Navarrete is probably going to try to make the move to become a 3 division world champion, in which I would definitely give Navarrete a lot of credit if he beats Oscar Valdez, but let's just say if he doesn't, Oscar Valdez is obviously using that as leverage to get behind Bob Arum to say, I don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. So that's, option A taken out of the picture. Option B that Shakur Stevenson is probably looking at is that he could either go after the IBF. For those of you that don't know, I believe Fuzinga Azili is scheduled to face Kenichi Ogawa, right? So I want to say it was supposed to be Shazvakat Rakimov. He was supposed to face Kenichi Ogawa, but I don't know what happened within those negotiations, or just, I guess like Rakimov in general. I guess he just didn't have, everything put in place. So I don't really blame him. He obviously, probably just had something going on, and things just didn't go his way. So I don't blame Rakima for probably just not, being, ready to actually have that fight made. And, I don't really blame her or blame him. Depending on what he's going through, I hope he's doing well. So, whoever's going to be next in line to get those belts, or to get the belt, by all means, it's time to see a brand new champion for the IBF. And according to the IBF 130-pound rankings, if I'm not mistaken, it is probably going to pop up on my phone if I can get it. But I am more than likely sure that it is going to be either Kenichi Ogawa versus Fuzinga Uzili. Yeah, so right here. It shows that Shavkat Rakimov is a number one. He's from Tajikistan. And then Azinga Fuzili, he's number two. Kenichi Ogawa, number three. Zelfa Barrett, number four. And then obviously we got Tevin Farmer at number 7, and then Joseph Cordino, number 6, and then Bruno Tarimo. He's at number 5. Oh, and for those of you that want to keep updated with Abraham Nova, he's actually number 11, which is very weird because he should be a lot higher. But yeah, whatever. To me, I personally believe Abraham Nova is way better than I'd say maybe at least Tevin Farmer, and definitely all these unknown guys, Joseph Cordina, Bruno Tarimo, and Zelfa Barrett. He should definitely be top 5. I mean, him and Tevin should definitely be in the top, at least top 5 or top 6, if not top 10. But no, good for him. I really hope Abraham, he does get a title shot because, I mean, if anything, if Navarrete, if he's going to move up from 126 to 130, that means AB, he's basically on his way to a world title shot right away. So if anything, I don't have nothing but a lot of respect for AB because he just has so much going for his career. So, it's good that he's just doing everything right because it's what else, does he really have to go through now? He doesn't really need to, worry so much about who's going to be right behind them because 126 is a very weak division. So I'd say at this point, he just needs to get himself, officiated, and I could definitely, see him get up to a higher level. And I think when he gets his body right for 126, which me personally, I just don't think he's a true 126 pounder. I truly believe if anything, his body's built for 140, 147. Because he said, he can basically blow himself up, to be the heaviest at 154. So I don't know what his plans and goals are to try to go for multiple titles in different divisions. But if I'm Abraham Nova, I definitely want to be careful of his I definitely want to be careful of my physical health because, you don't want to do something that's not going to make you feel comfortable, make a weight, and then on fight night, you just don't feel like the same fighter coming into your fights. And, from his Richard Pomitpich fight, he just didn't look like the same guy. I don't know, he definitely got the job done, but it wasn't something as of does his body type really scale well to 126? And to me, I would say no. I personally do believe if I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna try to be rude, but I'm gonna say it out of love, as a fair critic, I truly believe Abraham Nova is better fighting at 130, 135 and up, which, the highest he could definitely fight at is at 147. So whoever that could be coming up at the top, he could definitely fight those guys and he can definitely beat them. I truly believe whatever he does for the rest of his career, which he's definitely on to higher, bigger things, he could definitely, beat a lot of these mainstream fighting names. He'll definitely give Devin Haney problems. He'll give Shakur Stevenson a crap load of problems. He'll give Gervonta Tank Davis a shitload of problems. He'll give Gary Russell a crap load of problems. So, I mean, whatever he does, by all means, I'm always behind him. but you should always think about your health being your wealth. And I hope he gets better. I hope he's able to gel in well into the 126-pound division. But if he's not able to do well at that weight, I would strongly advise to just go back up to 130 or go up maybe even to 135. But I say at least go after 130 because 130 is going to be a very hot division for him to get some really good fights in. And I could easily see him getting, the WBA or the IBF at least. But I think maybe that's why he's going down to 126 because he could definitely get a belt at 130. I think like whoever's going to be left up there, it's just going to be probably him, Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez. Obviously, I would definitely favor him beating Oscar Valdez. I don't see Oscar Valdez doing well against a slick orthodox fighter like him. And I believe on top of that, he could switch it up as well. So he has like that mini Errol Spence with a little bit of like, Terrence Crawford-ish ability. I obviously don't put him next to Crawford because, I don't see Bud as a true southpaw. I really look at Bud as as an orthodox fighter. Same thing with Jaron Ennis, sadly, because a lot of people have been telling me like, oh no, Boots, he's a southpaw, but I don't know, like, can I really say he's a southpaw? Because when he fights, he usually comes out fighting orthodox, if I'm not mistaken. But I guess like if he is a southpaw, by all means, go for it. And I mean, if Bud is a true southpaw, which a lot of people say he fights better as a southpaw, he's more dominant that way. I mean, okay, go for it. To me, I think I'm just looking at a different fighter when he's fighting southpaw. I don't think he's comfortable fighting southpaw, but then again, his like Terrence Crawford has a great gift of adapting to different stances. So, whatever people may say he can't do, he's he's really skilled and talented in that regard to just dominate a lot of guys, especially from either stance. But in regards to AB, I think AB, he's definitely going to be on top. I just don't know where. If it's going to be the WBO, that's his first goal, get a belt, and then either try to see if he could stay at 126. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be for that long, but I would assume he should probably go back up to 130. Probably maybe even face Shakur Stevenson. Who knows? I don't know, but he definitely has like a lot of legacy to chase, and his goals are just going to get way, way bigger for success. But let's get back up on the Shakur Stevenson situation. Oh, hey, how's it going, L-Dub? Sorry about that. I didn't even see like your comment. Yeah, salute back to you. But let's talk about the Shakur Stevenson situation because I want to cover on that, and I truly believe this is a pretty important topic that I wanted to touch base on. I truly believe if Shakur Stevenson, if he can't get any of those belts at 130, which I'm pretty sure he will, I think that no matter how much time he's willing to stay at 130, I think at some point of his career, because I mean he's only 24 years old, he should definitely move up to 135 or 140, because I truly think that 130 is definitely going to be a good, a good hot money division for him to make some good fights. But I think as far as his dreams for getting undisputed, trying to obviously do some Floyd Mayweather, type protege goals. But I think, at the end of the day, I just don't see him getting undisputed when he tries to go for other belts. And Oscar Valdez, he's obviously just going to stay right behind Bob Arum and try to keep ducking Shakur. But if it's possible, go for it. But if not, I don't know. It's very tricky because at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson has so much to gain from the division. And I think as far as who's going to be the next champions, it's definitely going to be either the winner of Azinga Fuzili or Kenichi Ogawa. And then you got Chris Colbert, which, if I'm looking at it correctly from the WBA rankings at 130, I'm pretty sure Chris Colbert, he's somewhere up there because I am not tripping on that. But yeah, at 130, here we go, super featherweight. Oh, actually, yeah, Roger Gutierrez, he's got it. So Roger Gutierrez is actually, yeah, he's actually the regular champion, but I don't see him being up there for too long. But right here we have for the champions, super featherweight. Let's see. Yeah, so the WBA Super World Championship is vacated right now, but we have Chris Colbert at number one, which I personally believe Chris Colbert, he's definitely going to become the super champion, which, like we already know, like, you don't get the super belt until you unify with another champion. So knowing that he was the interim champion, I would assume he's going to face Roger Gutierrez. And, I think, Chris Colbert, he's going to beat the crap out of him. And then Roger, he'll just probably go back down and then he'll have to climb back up. But I definitely see, Chris Colbert being up there. I see, Xavier Martinez definitely coming up. Joan O'Carroll coming up. That, like, these are some good, decent competition. And definitely Ricardo Nunez. He's a beast. Even though that he got stopped by Gervonta Davis, but still, I think what's going to happen at 130 is that Roger Gutierrez and Chris Colbert, they're going to fight each other. And the winner is probably going to fight Shakur, because Shakur, he can go different directions. He can either go face Chris Colbert, either defend his title, or go after Lomachenko, which I don't think Lomachenko is going to go back down to 130. And, like we already know, like Lomachenko, he's set to face Richard Comey sometime in December. So, like, with Shakur having, this fight done back in or down in or like with him winning against Jamel Herring last week, how much time would you would we say he's gonna rest up to get like another title fight or title defense fight? I probably give it at least a good maybe 2 to 3 months, and then maybe the third month he's definitely going to be back in the ring. Because I don't like it when Shakur is inactive for at least more than 3 months. Like when it's 3+ months, I don't like that, because number one, you're not giving yourself enough activity throughout the year, and number two, if you're not going to be as active as much in the ring and you're just sitting up inside of the gym training and then just waiting for a fight date, I don't like that. I truly believe Shakur Stevenson, he's a lot better when he's staying active, because, you can still be active and you could still, rest up in a good amount of time to at least get a good 3 to 5 fights a year, if not more. But then again, when you are the champion and you want to, get back into the ring to display your talents as a world champion at the highest level, then that's where things can get a little bit shaky. So, how I see this, division going is going to end up in, I would say, in a multitude of ways. I truly believe the IBF will be easier for Shakur to go up there, get get what he needs to get, and then he's able to do the things that he wants to do. And once he is able to get a unification, out the way, he'll definitely expand his, his title, unification dreams to, or more so his conquest to probably go after the WBA And then if he's able to get the WBA and IBF out the way, then all he has to wait for is Oscar Valdez. And Oscar Valdez is going to be, the one being, hounded by the media to say, okay, well, Shakur wants undisputed. You don't want to fight him, blah, blah, blah. And, what's up? I don't think that's going to happen. I think Shakur Stevenson, he really needs to make that decision to, try to see where Valdez's mindset is at. And if he's not able to fight Shakur, and, obviously he's definitely going to duck him. I don't know. I'd just say Shakur just needs to make the move up to lightweight, make the move up to 140 or at least, definitely, 135. It don't matter, because if I'm Shakur Stevenson and I've already at least got 3 out of the 4 belts to, go and achieve like my goals to try to go for undisputed, and Valdez don't want to fight me, then by all means go for it. Definitely just move up and wait. Hey, what's up, Tyrell Jackson? Nice to meet you up on the show. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think where Shakur is at within his career, man, it's like, what do you do to a guy like Valdez that don't want to fight you, but yet if the WBC is either not going to mandate the fight to say, hey, we want our belt to be unified for undisputed, and let's just say Valdez, he don't want to fight him, does that mean that the next guy is basically just going to come up and say, hey, I'm like, look, I'm ready for undisputed, even though that I'm just like some guy that's number 1 in the WBC waiting for my turn to be called up? I think that's what's going to happen if the WBC can allow it. But at the same time, I don't know. I really, really don't know. Tyrell Jackson says Valdez is trash. Likewise, he said, I think Navarrete going to whoop Valdez. Navarrete versus Shakur, better fight. Yeah, and that's what I really want too, because I just want, like, to me, I'm basically the best fight the best 24/7. You don't duck the smoke. You are the smoke. You live in the ring of fire. You die by the ring of fire. So if Navarrete can get past Valdez, which I truly believe his power will be way better than Valdez, and if Valdez isn't able to cheat in that fight, but let's just say even if he is cheating, which we already just seen it with Conceição, where Conceição, he was damn near close of stopping him, I think Navarrete is going to put Valdez to sleep. He cannot outbox Valdez. There is no way in hell. I truly believe if I'm Navarrete, I need to stop him. Force this man to his back foot. Make him understand why you are called Navarrete. You don't give him any breathing room. Not at all. That's what Navarrete needs to do if he's ever going to get this fight, which I'm pretty sure this is what's going to be turning the tables at 130. But if Navarrete can turn that entire timeline away and beat Oscar Valdez, it's definitely going to be by knockout, because Valdez, he don't like pressure. Like we've seen that in multiple fights. We've seen that from the Conceição fight. We've seen that from the Adam Lopez fight. We've seen that from what's that other fight? Oh man, I forgot that other fight. But Oscar Valdez, he ain't that good of a fighter as many people think of him to be. I truly believe, like, when he meets a fighter that knows how to box and knows how to bang, if you put him next to Gervonta Tank Davis at 130, Tank smokes him. But if you put him next to a guy like Shakur Stevenson or even Jamel Herring, to say the least, I truly believe when he meets a guy that has a slick boxer puncher type style, it's over. Oscar Valdez, he can't outbox somebody that knows how to land him and knows how to out counter him, because that's really his biggest weakness. He can't get his head out the way when he's being out timed and out countered. He got lucky with Betrell having COVID too. Having COVID and 2 weight cuts. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of it to be like that. Honestly, I really thought I thought Burchell just looked like, he looked drained out. He looked like, he was like not the same guy that I saw from previous fights. And I want to say that definitely played a factor in that because, you know, if he obviously was like 100% ready, he definitely would have been fighting way better. But I didn't really realize like that was playing, you know, such a huge factor. I would have at least thought that at least after when he had COVID and, you know, that the weight cuts weren't going to be that big of like a problem, he would have at least been fully hydrated. But I guess that definitely played a huge factor. Thanks for telling me. Uh, Dude, Jason Velez was giving Valdez hell, and he trash. Oh yeah, definitely. I never really thought of that fight to actually been, you know, like a difficult fight for him. I actually like thought Valdez, he was just doing what he usually does. He gets into a dogfight with you, and then eventually he gets, you know, you either out of there or he, you know, wins by unanimous decision. And one more final point. I don't really think of Valdez to be that big of a puncher. I don't think Valdez is like this type of fighter where you could say he knows how to bang with you and he can knock you out, because I don't see his knockout power to be that consistent, because who's to say that he was ever clean in those fights when he knocked out his opponents? I don't see that to be consistent. And every time when Valdez ever knocked somebody out, it had to been a dogfight. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I mean, at the same time, like, you know, Navarrete, if he fights Valdez's fight, he can definitely get put to sleep. But I think like when you're fighting fire with fire, and you know, you're definitely fighting with a guy that knows how to punch. I don't think that's a good idea for Valdez to be trading with a guy like Navarrete. But then again, Valdez, he's really not a boxer. He's more of a, you know, like, I want to say he's more of a boxer, puncher, inside fighter, because that's really what he is. He's basically like Amir Khan, you know, in a way. You know, obviously, he doesn't have like the fast feet and the fastest hands, but he just has that tendency to just keep trading with you, and he doesn't really ever get any better from the fight. He just goes back to his old ways, and then he gets caught, and then, you know, in certain points of a fight, you know, he definitely has a possibility of getting dropped or getting slept. So I don't think Oscar Valdez is really that good, and it definitely shows it within his um, in his skill set. So I'm gonna go switch to the last and final subject, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Uh, I've been seeing a lot of hate, especially even on this channel from the last live that I got from talking about the Claressa Shields MMA loss. And let me tell you something. I don't watch MMA. I don't really give two craps about the sport enough. But if I were covering MMA every single weekend, I guarantee you I could easily elevate my channel to being more of a video game MMA channel. But I choose not to do that because I just love boxing. Like, I like everything out of the sport. And even though that I'm, you know, basketball first, because I personally love the NBA way more than anything else in life. Boxing really naturally just made me feel more connected to make these live videos and just make videos in general just to have fun, because to me it's more therapeutic to talk more about boxing than it is to talk about MMA. And I really don't care how many people really, you know, hate me for saying that. It's more like, this is my channel, this is my platform of what I want to talk about. And, you know, I don't really care like what anyone has to say. I come on here just to speak my piece, and then I get up out of here. But then again, this channel isn't even designated around boxing. It's just basically a channel where originally, you know, this is like actually a gaming channel that I actually created. But then once I got into sports and I started talking sports, that's when we get all these dumbass trolls coming up on here trying to talk their shit like as if that they're tough and shit. and then once that smoke actually gets tested in real life, then they're not about that life. So, I mean, as far as like what I do here, I'm just happy to have connected with people, and they've given me a good how should I say? They've given me great information to, fall more in love with the sport of boxing. But if I'm not getting any respect from the people that hate me for simply having a difference of opinion in a viewpoint, then I don't need your respect. I don't need, any of your viewership. You don't even need to watch me. If you don't want to watch me, just simply, block me or just don't watch me. But I understand why you trolls like to come on here, because you got because y'all don't have anything else better to do. So the only way that you guys ever make yourself feel better is that you have to dick ride other people that you don't like, and then that's what makes you guys feel psychologically okay to say, oh, ha ha ha, this guy, he's a, like so and so dick rider to this other channel, blah blah blah. Like, dude, if you got a fucking problem with me, just say it to my face. But I understand you're not gonna say it to my face because you're too pussy. That's just pretty much it. But I'm gonna finalize this last topic with Claressa. I'm just gonna sit here and say, Claressa Shields, she is the GOAT. She's great at what she does, and I respect, the living shit out of her. Um, Tyrell said, "Remember, it's the internet." Yeah, definitely, for sure. Like, I don't really care like what anyone has to say. I work a job. I have a full time, job as far as doing YouTube just for fun. So I do have a life versus other people that come on here and just talk their crap, and then they don't have anything else better to do. But back to Claressa. Claressa to me is one of the best female athletes ever. Um, no matter how much hate that she receives, similar to that of a Floyd Mayweather in a way, she's good at what she does. I like her style. I like her attitude. She's unapologetic for who she is. She stands up for, women's, how should I say, individualism for the sport of boxing. She's very influential. She's a strong, very, how should I say, very brave woman that stands up for the right things. She's not afraid to take risks versus fighters that are afraid to take risks. They don't want to take those risks. They don't want to speak up. They don't want to be loud. They don't want to make their branding and make their name bigger. She's able to take those risks, and she's able to go up against the odds of what people don't want her to do, and she's doing everything right to make the sport of women's boxing better. And ever since I've watched Claressa fight, ever since back in 2012, her professional debut, she was awesome. She gave Franchon Cruz one of the toughest fights ever, and Franchon Cruz, she's gotten way better ever since that very first loss to Claressa. But both of those ladies, including Amanda Serrano, all three of those ladies are just legends in the making. And this is a public shout out to all three of them. Amanda Serrano, Claressa, Franchon Cruz, all three of y'all are true queens in the making. You guys are literally the true faces of boxing. And I'm just happy enough to have watched their careers grow because, I'm a huge Franchon Cruz fan. I love Amanda Serrano. I've been watched her ever since I came out of high school, or, ever since I was in high school back in 2009, all the way up until 2013. And Claressa, I've been watching her, I want to say, actually, yeah, in high school too, because I was watching her fight in the amateurs, and then when she got up to the pros, I was like, yo, she's so good. And then ever since she got better, I was criticizing her with like her level of matchmaking, but then again, not a lot of people didn't want to fight her. So, I think if anything, she definitely did everything great. She revolutionized women's boxing. Tyrell says, K-Rod, who's your favorite boxer? I have a bunch of favorite boxers. My favorite boxer all time would have to be Joe Louis. I personally like Joe Louis simply for the fact that he was one of the most hated black heavyweight boxers, but he was one of the most hard, like literally hard hitting heavyweight boxers that was knocking everybody out, like similar to that with Deontay Wilder in that manner. But it was just good to see a guy like him because Joe Louis, basically was basically like the second coming to Jack Johnson, where I don't know if you've remembered, but ever since Jack Johnson was done with boxing and after he passed away, it actually took 29 years later to have another black heavyweight world champion in boxing. So Joe Louis, he was basically the second coming of Jack Johnson because he was basically a threat to, I guess, like the political establishment, especially with like the racist time back then, especially in America in the early 1900s, when Joe Louis, basically reclaimed that heavyweight throne. Um, his character and his bravery to go up against all the odds made me like him because I liked what he stood up for. He he obviously stood up for his people. He stood up for his manhood. He stood up for his dignity and his pride, and that's what I personally like about him. I truly liked Joe Louis for those for those characteristics and traits. But I'm just gonna finish up with Claressa Shields, but obviously that was like my thoughts of how I wanted to answer that question to you, Tyrell. But for Claressa, all I'm gonna say is to hell with all these haters trying to talk shit about her. She's a really great woman. I would assume so. I definitely would like to meet her in person one day. But Claressa Shields, in my book, she's definitely one of the most strongest females out there that's not afraid to take a risk. And at least with her, she doesn't care what the haters have to say because a lot of people know that she's doing what haters don't want her to do. And she's daring to be great and she's daring to be the best fighter out there. So whatever anyone has to say about her, she's a piece of basically she's a piece of greatness that people don't want her to shine on. So Claressa Shields, she's done everything right for the sport of boxing, and she's definitely making a huge legacy to come for MMA. And just because she lost in MMA doesn't mean that she's trash. She lost in a very competitive fight, but obviously I personally thought she got robbed on the scorecards because Abigail Montes, she wasn't that good of a fighter, in my honest opinion. I thought of, Claressa's striking ability played a huge factor in making Montes get too afraid to not fight Claressa, off the stand up. So she obviously resorted to using her ground game, to the best of her ability, in which she was basically just smothering her body on Claressa. So Claressa, she obviously got tired. She got hit a little bit, but it wasn't nothing special. Claressa, she definitely just, developed very well. She got way better. As far as like the striking game goes and like how she positioned her stand up, she's getting better at that. But I think but I think when she gets better with like the ground game, she's going to be a completely different fighter, and that's what I want to see out of her because she's daring to be great. She's taking risks while other people are just sitting in the corner, not not wanting to do the things that she does. And think about it: if she could become a MMA world champion and a boxing world champion at the same time, yo, that's insane. Like she'll basically be like the second female boxer in history to be or actually no, oh man, I'm sorry. She'll be the first female boxer in MMA history and boxing history to be a MMA fighter that is active in MMA to be a world champion and then still be a boxing world champion at the same time. That is literally GOAT status 101. So much love and respect and salute and all hail to the beautiful queen, Claressa Shields. And same thing with Miss Beautiful, Puerto Rican, Amanda, the real deal, Holyfield 2.0, Serrano. I love you a lot. Same thing with Franchon, Beautiful Cruz, Discern. But obviously, I'm just going to keep it a Franchon Cruz. Big respecter, greatest woman ever. I love that woman to death. I hope she could beat the crap out of Eileen Cedar-Roos and definitely get her undisputed belts or her undisputed crown put across her waist. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it, man. My final thoughts is Claressa Shields. She's definitely on her way to superstardom in MMA. She just needs to keep getting better. PFL is treating her well, and I hope PFL could give her more tough opponents down the path. Obviously, definitely, do it little by little, and I think eventually she's gonna be at the top, man. She's basically going to go through the same notion as as Amanda Nunes did in the UFC, and just wait. I think eventually with time and practice and just putting in those hard earned years of work in, she's going to be good, man. And I mean, even coming into MMA at 25, 26 years old, which I obviously don't see that to be such a good idea, but I mean, for her to come in that mid, late, young into the game, it's still good though. It's good that she actually did that, because even with Amanda Serrano, she did that and she's still doing well in boxing. That speaks a lot of volume, because MMA is a very dangerous sport, way more dangerous than boxing, in my honest opinion. And the wear and tear that you would get from both sports, I just don't understand how you could survive that much punishment and you could still feel all right. But salute and respect to Amanda and Claressa and Franchon Cruz as well. But most specifically with Claressa and Amanda, both of them are true GOATs, including Franchon as well. The GOAT trio in the making. But shout out to the legends. That's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I can't wait for the next fight that Claressa will have. It's probably going to be boxing next. So she did say that she's going to probably fight twice a year in boxing and then twice in MMA, which I actually like that. That's actually a very good active schedule. I mean, if she could at least get 3 in MMA and maybe 2 in boxing, might be pushing it, but hey, boxing, she's already set in stone. She doesn't need to do much more in the sport of boxing. So MMA is basically going to be, the next home. And I mean, even if Claressa retired from boxing, she could just, continue MMA, for the rest of her career in fighting. Claressa Shields would be, she'll be booming in MMA if she left boxing tomorrow. But either way, I cannot wait for the future. She's to me, she got to run it back with Montes. She got to knock that Mexican señorita out. She got to get that señorita some fiesta. Throw a little bit of Goya and then be like, poop, 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 poop. Got to beat her up like a piñata. But no disrespect to Montez. She definitely fought her heart out, but I'm sorry, but styles make fights, and Claressa, she almost became a little bit of a bad, El Paso, El Paso problema. Wow, I definitely screwed that up because I'm so tired right now. But basically, she was a super problem for Montes. She definitely gave Montes a little bit of a wild card, Magic 8 Ball, problem to figure out. But either way, I like to see that rematch if that could happen. But if not, on to the next one. Shout out to the Queen, Claressa Shields, and Amanda Serrano, and Franchon Cruz. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all later. Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.